Right, there are a few reasons for this. One is, not a lot to tell, well, I've got a lot to tell you. Read the title. And we've not run this for a day or two. So it's a very, very brief run. It's running well. Now, may or not, it's a bit cold and I haven't let it warm up, but I do want to show you something, if I can. Right, we've got the lights on, look, and I've got the torch. So it's got enough light for people to see. Now, just there, look, I've actually written that little doobie bobber there, right? Now you can hear they're running about right. Now, one thing to tell you, I've ordered a red cow, one of them digital ones, so we can tell how fast it's going. Just in videos, just for fun. And see now, it's about at the run position, right? So by screwing that doobie bobber on the carburetor, it's telling you about, that one there, right? By tightening the spring on it, it makes it run rhythmically. Right, tell you. And it's now running very well, as you can hear. And when you get these new, is it? 951, right? When you get these new, I'll try and hold the camera in the other hand to show you. That way, there, it starts. So if I put that there, this should now run 2 rips. And start 4 strokes. Like that. That there, in the middle, can you see, that's run. And when you go to here, it says stop. Right, there, and it stops. So, I think we're about spot on now, aren't we? So just thought I'd show you the little bit I've learnt, because I have actually mentioned it a few times to people. But these engines, they're quite cool, aren't they? They're cool old engines. There's loads and loads about. They're pretty inexpensive. People collect them. Some people have a dozen, 2 dozen, you know. All my tractor mates have got them. Yeah, so I found a lot about them in the last few weeks. I thought you might just be interested in that, that's all. Well, as the title said, I've not been feeling too bad today for a while. I've overdone it a bit. Seem to if I do very much at all now, but anyway. We've got this redneck grinder done, look. Right, it touches on the bottom bit of wood, but that'll soon wear off, right? And you can see roughly what's going to happen, can't you? Hey, you can see roughly what's going to happen. So that's one thing. It took me, oh dear. What I did, I just drilled and roughly chiselled a hole in there, and I put a piece of wood on the bottom there, so I can clamp that in that bench I've got outside, and then, you know, putting the wheel on for a pulley, I can have that outside the shed, and it's just something to run, right? And I can just something for a fun video, right? That's all it is, a fun video. Because there's got to be a bit of fun in life. I'm sure you'll agree with that. Anyway, the other thing I've done today, I started this. I was hoping to get the boring bit finished, but I didn't, unfortunately. Where's the other end plate gone? There we are. Right. Using that bit of box section, right, I've got a piece of that 8th plate welded on the end for one end. Well, I ran out of energy. I'll be honest, didn't quite run out of daylight, but for me, I've done quite a lot today, so that's all right. Anyway, this, where's my tape measure gone? I've a little bit more grinding to do. Now, this won't be as per, you know, you won't be able to measure it with micrometers, let's say. But remember, the box section was off a banger frame and it's slightly bent, right? And I don't know if you can see this, if I can show you or not, but if I measure across there, stand it up like that, maybe, what, can you see it there? Right, that is, look, can you see? It's a bit hard for me to hold that on there and not drag it about. It should be in the vice really, shouldn't it? But anyway, but if you turn it round, it actually measures slightly differently, right? And it's I found out because when I went to square it, it ended up about 1/8 out. Anyway, so it is now slightly long, if I can show you this, and become on the front, right, there, because that's 1/8, so that means that if that's on there, it's a fraction too long that way. So of course all I've got to do is grind a bit off this face, right, and it will be pretty close. It'll certainly be a lot better than that blooming abortion that I did of that aluminium one, won't it? And I don't know if you can even see on here. I don't know if I can see on here. There's a tiny bit of touch up to be done on there, and I'll grind it off. Anyway, I've ground the mill scale off it all, and it'll come somewhere near, and it's the right size. This is the important thing. If anyone makes any of these large dice, they need to be not more than 3 1/4 inches, 3 1/8 or 3 1/4, right, like that, because that's the right size to hold in your hand, you see, and it's quite heavy, you know, it's fairly substantial. And then what I'm hoping to do, if I can, I'll try and get the I'll use one of my proper dice like I did the other one to try and get them right, and drill some, you know, countersinks in, and then using, I've got a new one I can use, some of that epoxy. If I do each side and then fill them with epoxy, and then of course using the belt sander, I can then grind each side flat, and hopefully the epoxy will show up as whitish for the dots on the dice. That's what I'm hoping for. And then again, this may or may not happen. I might leave it at that. But for an ornament, remember it's only an ornament. I've got, you know, my old, they're here somewhere, or they were here somewhere, if I can find them, which I can't. However, somewhere down here I've got my old Nuffield exhaust valves. Somewhere down here. I don't actually know where they are yet. Anyway, what I'm thinking, here we are. I knew I got them. Right. Now, that cleaned up, obviously, and then that would make a base for the dice, for an ornament. I might only have it half height, right? But if, imagine that dice is finished and I welded it like that, right, on there. But as I said, it don't want to be that high, it wants to be that high, doesn't it, you know. Then of course we can make a base out of well, anything I like. You know, some of these old tools maybe, or you know, I've got plenty of choice, that's what I'm trying to say. I've got lots and lots and lots of choice, right? So possibly make a base out of those tools, or one of these touch bases, something like that. I'm not sure yet, as I say, but we'll see. But I think, I don't know if you agree or not, but I think that'll make quite a nice ornament. Anyway, we've had a productive day, as I said in the title, and we'll see how it turns out, eh?